Hi guys, the Frugal Guy here. This is just a bit of a video that I want to make. You might not be interested in. It's just about my health problems, and maybe you can relate, and maybe you can help me out if you've ever gone through these problems. Let me first by prefacing that most of you know I've had open heart surgery. I don't know if you can see my scar. It starts right there. Um, I've had open heart surgery where I had quadruple bypass. That was 2 years ago, actually this March. And my dad had open heart surgery back when he was 40, 41, and for 15 years he felt wonderful. And most people back then that I knew who had it, they felt wonderful. I do not feel wonderful. I feel worse, and I probably look worse. Look at these dark circles in my eyes. Anyway, I don't feel better. Instead of wiring me closed, they usually wire your sternum because they have to cut open your sternum here, and they have to wire it back together. They put plates in me and 28 screws, so that causes me a lot of pain. But then there's other issues. So I'm gonna put a picture in here of what my chest scar and then what the back of my legs look like right here. That was my chest scar and the back of my legs. The back of my legs look like that because in order to graft the bypasses on, to get the blood flowing to the correct part of the heart, I had a quadruple bypass. They have to take the veins out of your legs, which they learned real quick. I didn't have many veins down there that were good veins, and my veins are not the average size veins. They're smaller, and that runs in my family. My fathers were like that. His uh, siblings had the same issue. Okay, hornet's heart disease runs in my family. So fast forward now to what I'm feeling. I had a cardiologist who did my open heart surgery, and then I have a cardiologist who I go see regularly every few months. He's not really, I feel, helping me. He's not, I like him, but he's not one of those doctors who goes into details. He doesn't really take what you're telling him. So I walk in there one day in November looking like this, and he says, "How you doing?" Well, look at my face. How do you think I'm doing? Which I went in and told him that I had my first fainting spell. I fainted. I'd never passed out before in my life. What had been happening weeks up before that is I had been, when I lay down in bed at night and I'd lay on my left side, because I'm a side sleeper, I would start getting this really funny feeling. Um, and I'd have to sit up real quick. My breath would take my breath away. My vision would go dark. And it was just a horrible, fast forward, really weird feeling. So I got to the point where I didn't sleep on my left side. I slept on my right side. Well, one night I laid down in bed forgetting, and I was like just laying down like this. And I started having that feeling. And I got up real quick, and I thought maybe if I get up, it'll sort itself out. I walked around the room, which my room was set up differently. Walked to this wall back here, and next thing I know, I was on the floor. Um, I had hit my face obviously up against the wall because my nose was all smashed and it was bleeding. I had that bruise all over me, scraped my arm all the way down because I had a wicker bookshelf over there. So I thought, well, it's something to do with my heart. He's always told me if you have any problems, make an appointment with me immediately. Made an appointment with him immediately, got in there 2 days later. He just acted like, oh, it's nothing, probably nothing, blah, blah, blah. I wore a heart monitor, that was fine. He did a heart sonogram. Turned out I had left ventricle something, LVH, but he said that wouldn't be causing me to pass out. Okay, since then, since November, I've passed out 2 other times. One time I was just sitting on my mother's couch and I passed out. And just for a few seconds. The next time, when my father was in the hospital sick, I came home from a late night up there. Didn't even have the funny feeling. I laid down to go to bed and I thought, oh man, I haven't turned off a light, I think, in the other room. So I got up, went around my bed, and by the time I got to the door, next thing I know, I'm waking up on the floor. And I was bleeding. My legs were bleeding from scratching something. So I got back in bed, and me and my mom live on the same property. So we talked to each other, and I called her and I said, I've just passed out. I think I'm okay. She said, well, why don't you come up here and stay the night? Now I said, I'll be okay. And I fell asleep. Well, I woke up within the next hour and I thought, how did I get back in bed? And she told me about that conversation the next day. I have no recollection of that conversation. So I think I passed out again in bed. So what I'm saying is it's not normal me passing out. And I have these things where I get up out of a seated position, my head goes all swimmy, I'm not dizzy, my vision starts going, and you just feel like you're going to crumble to the floor. Now I've tried getting up and stopping. It happens, and I'll walk a few steps and it happens, and it's like my breath gets taken away, my heart slows down and beats, and it's just a terrible, terrible feeling. Got to the point the other night where it was so bad, I just told Mom I'm going to lay down in bed. I know I won't go to sleep, but I'm going to go to bed because I can't just keep sitting here and getting up and having these spells. I'm going to pass out, and I don't know how long I'll be out the next time I pass out. So fast forward today, I went and I had an appointment with my cardiologist. Well, I had to see a nurse practitioner who works with heart and vascular. And she was much nicer and listened to me and took out all my symptoms because I'm having a lot of other symptoms. And so they're going to run some tests on my carotid arteries, which are the arteries in your neck here that run the blood flow to your brain. My dad, both those clogged up on him, and he had to have them cleared. They were a little bit of plaque in them before I had my open heart surgery. But she said since I was turning left that maybe things could be breaking off in there. So we're going to check that, which I'm glad something needs to be checked. And we're also going to do a CAT scan on my heart to see all the varying arteries going off of it. Now, what they used to do is like after my dad had his open heart surgery, year after surgery, you went and you had a cardiac cath, an anthrogram, what they call it, no, it's not called that. It's cardiac cath, where they either put it up your wrist or in your cardiac. Your cardiac cath is like where a catheter would go, and they go all the way up into your heart, and they check and see if the repaired arteries that they repaired in your bypass surgery have started to close back up. They don't do that now. I don't know why. It seems to make more sense. Only my cardiologist, what he wanted to do was do a stress test, which I'd have to do a chemical stress test, because a normal stress test, you run on a treadmill. Can't do that, have numb feet, because I have multiple nerve damage in the lower part of my body. And like I told her today, I said, I don't feel strong enough to take a stress test. Just don't. It's okay, you don't have to. So they're going to schedule me to see if my carotid arteries are getting plaque built up and see how my heart's doing. After that, she said she might like to do an MRI of my brain to see if anything's going on in there. Because I haven't even thought about seizures. Was I having seizures or anything? So I don't know. But I'm tired of being tired and sick. I know a lot of you are too. So if you want to talk about it down there in the thing. I totally can empathize with you. And I thought getting open heart surgery I'd feel better, and I just don't. I don't. So, talk to you guys later. I'm getting more jewelry ready. My next lot will be a hippie lot. I'm calling it hippie instead of bohemian. Some nice necklaces and bracelets and a nice cuff bracelet with a peace sign on it. So, I will talk to you soon. And if you have any suggestions or any information you can share with me. I told him I didn't think it was my blood sugar falling low. I've actually taken my blood pressure after I fainted, and it's actually a little high, so I don't know. But like when I get really bad, this is how my eyes are like this all day. I also take Ambien to go to sleep at night. That stuff's supposed to like that. Yeah, I took it like 3 hours ago. I can take it at 8 o'clock at night and I'll be asleep till 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh well. Take care of yourself. Any information you'd like to share. I'll talk to you later. Bye.